Kanpai!
Kanpai! Welcome everyone to episode 250 of Kanpai Cast, where we are bringing back the little bite-sized bits and bobs that we did, what, like 3-4 weeks ago? Something like that. It wasn't too long ago. But we enjoyed it so much that we thought we'd do it again. So, basically, we're just gonna bring up 3 different topics. We each brought one. And we'll try to talk about them for about half an hour. Well, just ramble on about them. Hopefully you find it just interesting. And if you don't, if there's any of them in particular that you don't like, let us know in the comments so we can avoid them in the future. I think that's it. I think that's everything. Who wants to go first?
I'm happy to go first. Controversy.
Xeno. Hey.
Yeah.
Ooh,
A start controversy. So the topic that I'm bringing to the table is effectively, is there a good place in the anime community that AI dubbing is acceptable? Right? Now, I say this because, a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, AI anything is bad. AI this, AI that. Like, unfortunately, it's become such a generalized thing that, if you make a video game with AI, it's often, AI slop. Yet you have AI for the enemies you're fighting. So where are we drawing the line on this? And the reason I'm bringing this up is there are so many amazingly well-crafted shows like I keep on wanting to say Rock is Lady Swazi. No, Ruri Rocks, Bocce the Rock, Apocalypse Hotel. There are so many shows that do not have a dub, because let's face it, the only shows that really get a dub are the super duper popular ones.
That's true.
No. It's. I actually argue it is true. Correction. It's the shows that the producers think will make them a lot of money.
Yes.
Right?
There you go.
Now, the reason I know this to be true is many moons ago, I went to a panel at Iacon. I'm pretty sure it was Iacon, which was an anime convention here in the UK. No idea if it still exists or not. But it was for a licensing studio, I want to say called Bees, right? And,
Bees,
we asked them the general question, like, how do you decide what shows are popular? Because in all honesty, a large part of me feels that if you want to check to see what shows are popular, look at things like Reddit, look at, torrent sites, because whichever ones are getting shared the most, whichever one, those are the ones that are probably going to be the successful wins for dub. But they literally told us to our face that, oh, it's just me and my mates. We sit in a room and we think whether or not it's good or not. That's how they decide, and that's why we have shows like. Yeah, well, yes and no, because, how would we personally decide? Well, we would check the show out for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think we would want to do more market research as well.
Yes.
I question whether or not a dub of season 3 of 100 Girlfriends can succeed, or whether or not it will just get completely imploded. Anyway, that's besides the point. But there are plenty of shows that I'd like to watch while doing other things. I've got a mountain of chores that I need to do, including keeping up with what is currently airing on for this season. And there are plenty of shows that are either weeks behind in terms of a dub, or just don't have a dub at all. And it would be great if I could synthesize a dub and be able to listen to it while I'm doing my other chores, including but not limited to my laundry.
So I have 2 points for this as
Okay.
a thought. I've been going through. And the first one's really simple, is we've seen a very large and very money-hungry company make AI dubs of their content.
Yep.
And they're terrible.
Yes.
They are stilted. You would need huge amounts of training on your model, and you would also need to check it yourself before you even watch it to see if it's even translating it accurately, because there is the whole localization issue with slang and other things that just don't translate. So it may say something. One of the biggest things I found with AI translated comics, manga, right, is that with Japanese, the person you're referring to is implied, usually by name when you're actually referring to them, but there's no he or she used in the sentence. So in
or
many
very rarely
cases with AI translation, the yours and my thing gets mixed up. So do you want to try my drink could be translated the wrong way. Do you want to try your drink? Because the person they're referring to is the thing, and it's not that I have the drink. It's not my drink in the actual Japanese text, and I'm sharing it with you. Do you want to try drink, basically? And so to localize it, do you want to try my drink, doesn't come across in the translating. So you could end up with some very differently translated scenarios. If you did this. So
true.
That's the first one. Would you even want to listen to the AI dubs?
I to be honest, I don't know, but this is something that I wouldn't. So I think I have massively missed off something in this. I want these to be local. I don't want these to be owned by a big corporation.
I get that.
I want,
So
it's
he's just
me spending.
Would have to put in. I use the massive corporation as a thing of they have a lot of money to train their
cautionary
models.
tale.
No, but
And
at
didn't.
well, I mean, you say they train the models. I mean,
They had a lot of money
How they
to
did.
do it, and they didn't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So there are surprisingly a large number of models out there that do like really good jobs at specialist things, right? And for example, you don't ask a all-purpose LLM for advice on how to program something. You ask a specific programming model how to deal with some weird, quirky shit, right? Not to say people won't try to use a general all-purpose one, but you're better off asking specialist models that deal with...
You don't ask a general LLM to do protein folding for medical research. It's not going to be able to do
Exactly.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, it'll probably... I wonder if it'll actually try, but, But the important thing is that to the audience, if they are listening and they're like, how are you even considering this? I am not expecting to pay for this, right? I'm expecting to maybe pay for the voice actor's voice that can be used privately in this, right? Give them money, but I'm not expecting to pay Amazon, Disney, Netflix for anything like this. In terms of validating whether or not the translations are accurate, well, I can't validate whether or not the translations Netflix provide are accurate. I can't I can't validate that at all.
And I'll tell you what, they're not half the time.
No, I can imagine.
They're generalizations or localizations, whatever you want to call them.
I mean, one of the interesting videos that I saw recently of sub versus dub, and the I can't remember if she was a localizer or what, but basically the woman in the video turned around and said, like, neither are accurate.
Yeah.
You can hear faster than you can read, right? So the subtitles are a shortened form of what's actually being said. It's not accurate. Neither of them are accurate. But my not so much counter argument, the pain that I've had to witness. So
you can
some of my friends,
Ghost in the Shell.
No, some of my friends, they watch anime subtitled for various different reasons, but they try to get subtitles that are what the dub is saying, right? And they are not accurate in any way, shape, or form. These are subtitles that are provided by Crunchyroll, right?
Yep.
And effectively, they're trying to do subtitles based on the phonetic
The subtitles
pronunciation
are the
of things.
dub, and the subtitles are from the sub. They're not closed captions of the dub.
No, they're closed captions of the dub, but they are
really
woefully inaccurate. Yes, they are so inaccurate.
Well, they're not really good closed captions.
Yeah, it's just like, Ernest de Chevalier, and then it tries to go with words it knows, and it goes Ernest L.
Like
Chandelier
YouTube
or something like that.
Auto translated closed captions. Yeah.
Yes.
Not auto
Yeah.
translated,
So
but auto transcribed.
Yes, so it try. So if it was a case of that, these things can be provided with. Okay, here's just take the English subtitles and turn them into a dub, right? I would probably be more okay with that than not at all. Would I want it to replace any of the services we have? No, hell no. Absolutely not in the slightest. Because the truth be told is there's so much stuff that I've been watching over the recent months. I just don't have time to commit to whatever slop and detritus that I've got on, right? I probably put up more with Exiled Heavy Knight? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. The Exiled Heavy Knight knows how to game the system.
Yeah, I probably put up with that more if I could just turn on a dub.
Okay.
To me, this has a lot of the same caveats as piracy. Of course, piracy is wrong. We all know piracy is wrong. You shouldn't be doing it.
Correct.
It takes money away from the artists and the companies and blah 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 blah. Yes, what?
I have a retort to this, right?
When you don't own anything, you can't steal it.
Well, effectively along those lines.
If buying is not owning, then piracy is not stealing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Thaylien took the words right out of my mouth. So, but assuming I can buy stuff, if I could buy stuff on the Sony platform for then Sony to just take it away from my account,
which they have.
Where's my refund?
Right. But you could buy physical discs still of physical DVDs at inflated prices.
Yes.
But that would solve your problem. You wouldn't have to pay for something and not own it.
That's not true though, because Paramount are not releasing a physical copy of Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
I know.
Exactly.
I know we're moving that way, Nasuth, but we're not there yet.
Nasuth, this is also the case that a company removed their game from a service and sent a message to all users of that game to destroy their physical copies.
I'm aware of this.
So they actually do not want you owning the physical copies either.
Okay, we're still covering anime releases on DVD every week in the news. So I'm just going to say, fuck you, and we're going to go back to talking about legitimate sources.
Yes. Yes.
So okay, piracy of legitimate sources like that is bad. We can agree.
Yes.
That said, I think a lot of people we know engage in that behavior. And I'm not, if they can't afford it, I'm not going to tell them not to. And I think in a similar...
did not get information about the Avatar movie 4 months ago.
Yeah. And I think in a similar way, yes, using AI to make a dub is probably the wrong thing to do for several reasons, especially if you're not paying for a dub imprint or an imprint of the voice actors. But do I think it's really wrong? I don't know. I don't think I can justify that.
I mean, like, I would happily pay the voice actors
Sure.
for a private license to use their voice for private dubbing, right? AI generated dubbing.
But like, if you're not trying to make money off of it or anything, I just don't see the problem with that.
Additionally, yes, but I think a large part of that is like, this isn't to make money. This is just to improve my enjoyment of the thing. I mean, a counter argument could be, well, why don't you just learn Japanese? I'd love to, but I don't have bloody time, right? It's
Come on, guys. He doesn't even have time to listen to read the subtitles.
Yeah,
right?
If I had the time to learn Japanese, I wouldn't have this problem in the first place. I would just be reading the subtitles.
So this brings me on to the second point, and it's not that because of course you mentioned you'd buy the voice pack legitimately, but it runs into the problem of something that's the voice actors around the world are getting caught up in, is that many don't want to create voice packs of their voice because it removes them from the equation, even if they get royalties from the usage. They want their voice to be their voice in a performance so that they can give it an actual thing. It's much like artists that do train an AI to generate art based on their own art. For example, in generating AI backdrops for anime. There's a studio that we know is actually training a model on the way their own artists draw and using that to cut down on production time, or to do coloring, or like the base colors of a background once it's been initially drawn. And that is, to many of the artists, even though they're actually signed up to produce for that company, taking away their agency as an artist, taking away their agency as a voice actor in the same way. And is it right to get well-known voice actors, ones that we would expect to voice these characters, to produce imprints specifically for these purposes, for private use? What do you think, Nasuth?
Is AI dubbing the audio equivalent of chasing a picture?
No.
I don't know.
But is AI dubbing the vocal equivalent of Gen AI artistry?
I mean,
can be argued because the reason you are hiring these voice actors is because of their unique talent and their voice that you want to lend to this. So I can see there being the whole thing of, yes, they're getting paid. If they're okay with it,
have one,
I don't see a problem on this second point. If they voluntarily create their own voice imprint, there is no law around this right now. There's no legislation around it at all from any country about whether this is what involves the copyright or anything else. And who's to say that somebody buying
there is
the voice imprint?
There's licensing laws
around Gen AI.
No, around distribution of any media like this. So if you do not have a legitimate license to receive that product for the intended purposes as we are describing, then that is against licensing laws.
Correct. How do you trace this back if somebody's bought the voice pack and has then distributed the voice pack rather than the anime that you've then generated the dub for? How do you? There's nothing around. There is copyright around the voice pack distribution of licenses once you actually license it, but there's actually no real case.
So the answer to this is you need to create the platform for it. So, for example, back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s,
we're going to bring up DRM.
No.
Okay.
Video game piracy was rampant, right? This is before like the a lot of the DRM stuff now. But video game piracy was rampant. A lot of the stuff that was used to prevent CDs or DVDs from being ripped was readily bypassed, because the second someone works out how it's generated, someone can work out how to ungenerate it.
Yes.
But it wasn't until the age of Steam where games became a lot easier to buy legitimately
Online.
did that go away. Like video game piracy became a lot less common because people didn't want to download potential viruses, right? People wanted the ability to buy the games without having to spend half the day going to the nearest video game store, right? So I completely understand that a platform like this would probably service some degree of demand. And if it's a simple case of like, you know, you can install a platform, right, that allows you to legitimately download the episodes of an anime and legitimately use voice packs to actually put an auto dub to it, then you can, as long as that information isn't used illegitimately, right, then I think that could be used to validate, oh, well, we should do an official dub. And like, if a show has an official dub, well, with said platform, don't allow people to auto dub that show. I mean, there's always going to be.
Okay, but now you're, so this is drifting away from your initial point of doing it yourself at home. Now you're bringing in a corporation. You're bringing in a company to do it.
Hold on.
No. Distribution is from the company. Generation is client side. Right?
Okay,
Yes.
well,
So
if
the
an anime already has a dub, how are you going to stop somebody from dubbing it themselves at home?
The software won't let you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this plan. I don't know if I like having my my freedom to do what I want with my media limited to a company telling me what I can and can't do with things I own.
But that's the license that you have with whatever media you do have right now.
Yeah, I know, and I don't like it.
Your DVDs.
Let's take this in a slightly different direction. You've got the platform selling the voice packs already, right? That's got to be a big enough platform that people can find different voice actors, download the thing, use it to generate a dub. Why not make that a platform that generates the dub?
Yeah, imagine if you could take the dub of Comey Can't Communicate, get rid of that one voice that you don't like, or move it to a different character, and then you could fix it that way. But you couldn't do that if it already has a dub. Under your plan,
right?
What my point was, what's the problem? So what's the difference between this? What's to stop somebody from then just, rather than creating what we would want, which is a system that allows people to use it themselves for personal use, from just monetizing it as we've got all these voice actors, we will generate the dub you want for you, and then you download the things from us, and we give the money to the original licensees.
I mean, that is possible. Nothing stops that. But apart from I want to say, moral objection from the greater community. I mean, no one stopped anyone from engaging with
the Amazon ones.
Amazon's the Amazon ones. I was going to say AWS, but no. Amazon's
was it Banana Fish and No Game No Life?
Yeah. The movie, I think it was the No Game No Life movie.
Yeah, it was.
But no one's stopping people from still engaging with those, apart from the moral objection, and then Amazon took them down, right? Because they were released in error.
They were terrible. The one for the anime with the existing dub, which is No Game No Life, and was still credited with that dub on the media they released. Meaning that they auto-dubbed it over the credited dub, which was then why it was released in error, because they didn't.
No, I think it was a case of the distribution. It was the distribution studio. There wasn't an English dub. I don't think I don't know if the No Game No Life.
One of the
movie
they released with the. Yes,
I don't think it has
one of the movies they released with the.
Okay,
one
the
of
point is,
one of the movies they released with the auto dub had an English dub. That's why it was caught and called out.
Doesn't matter which one it was. One of them already had an English dub. Although it's possible, and it was still listed in the credits as having the original dub voice actors, but it wasn't using them. It was using the AI dub. That was a thing. Correct. I don't know which one it was. It might not have been either No Game No Life or Banana Fish. That might have been another one that we're forgetting. But
my understanding is that effectively people cried out on the No Game No Life Zero movie because the No Game No Life series already has a dub. Right?
There was genuinely something that was actually in the credits of the thing they released. I think with an English cast.
I think this is not. I think this is not important. This particular rabbit hole is not important. I mean, if you think it is, you can. But I'm just saying.
But this is the important part. Like, no one stops anyone from pirating anime. No one stops people from doing fan dubs. No one stops doing people from doing what's those like moving manga, where they take a manga and they put audio to it. No one stops that. No one stops until someone gets a big enough lawyer and starts kicking and screaming, right? Like, no matter what you release, it's going to be abused, right? It doesn't matter. It's either going to be abused by I've so trying to keep up with the Guyver manga, right? Which is not officially licensed anymore and hasn't been for bloody years. The number of Chinese knockoff manga publishers that take the scanlations, right? So they take the manga apart, they put their own English translations on it and things, and they sell someone else's work. It's rampant. It's everywhere, right? So we haven't found a solution for that.
Well, people still pirate games, even though you said it's better now that Steam's around,
but at a lower rate. But they still do, yes.
Yeah.
So it's down to, if you can provide a service that's easily affordable and people there is an interest for it, I think people would buy into it. And you could put all sorts of regulations in. Like, if we came up with the perfect platform, nothing stops someone else from going like, oh yeah, this is our platform, but it's cheaper because we're just gonna distribute the AI dubs. I'm like, but that's not what we want to do.
Yeah, I think if the artists are getting paid, then it's okay.
Yes, because the artists have to be fully consenting in the first place to their own voice packs being generated and so on. So,
or you're fine with just pirating it yourself and pirating it and doing it yourself.
Yeah. So, just the point, link to the article. But anyway, so there is a thing. Do we want to move on to the next topic?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a great deal left to talk about this. I'm interested to hear what the audience has to say.
I think I'd do it.
I think that there is a space for this because I think there are too many shows, too many absolutely banger shows that are just overlooked because they fill too niche a market.
If you really wanted to, you could frame this as helping the disabled too, because think about somebody who's blind who doesn't know Japanese and doesn't have the time to learn Japanese. They're not going to be able to engage in a lot of this stuff. So we're making it easier for them to engage.
I get you. Still, I'm still only against it on the principle that you're all filthy dub casuals and don't read subs.
Actually, I don't think I've watched any dubs in this season so far.
Alrighty.
No, you have. Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yeah, Ghost in the Shell, yeah, because I'm watching with you guys. But if I was watching it alone, I wouldn't be.
Stinky face. Anyway. Go on, let's move on to the next one.
Who wants to go next? Nasuth or me?
I can go next.
I've got a shorter topic, and then we can go longer on yours, Nasuth. How's that?
Sure.
Okay, so mine is basically it's the topic that never was, where I want to bring up the caper as a subject we would talk about for a whole Kanpai cast, but it really doesn't have a lot of content, so it ended up going onto the chopping room floor. So, to explain, the caper is what is known as a heist. A heist is basically a catch-all term for a premeditated thievery. And heists can be achieved by simply walking into a place, stealing what's there and getting out again, as long as they were planned out that way in advance. And there's, all sorts of things. But a caper needs planning. It needs multiple participants with very specific roles to provide potential points of failure, and it needs to have backup scenarios in case their antagonist predicts their moves somehow, because all capers work best with the person on the other side trying to stop them.
One of my favorite versions of this is the Sting from, is it like 60s or 70s? Might even be a little earlier.
Kinda, yes.
It's really good. It's like Robert Redford and everything back when he was really young. It's really good.
I haven't seen it, but I have heard good things. So I want to activate Nasuth's sleeper mode by comparing it to sandwiches. As in,
what?
A beef burger is a sandwich, but not all sandwiches are beef burgers. Right? Because it's a matter of how specific in the definition you are that makes a difference. In the same way, a Victoria sponge cake is a sandwich. Because it's got the 2 layers of baked bread-like substance sandwiching a jam and cream and strawberry filling on the inside. But
hamburgers in America were literally called hot hamburger sandwiches when they were first started.
Yes. But the difference between a Victoria sponge cake and a beef burger is so stark that you wouldn't confuse the two under normal circumstances. Right? So if you've seen Ocean's 11, that's a caper movie. Right? Lots of planning, lots of moving parts, lots of people taking part in it, narration, a stylistic flair. Meanwhile, something like Robin Hood from the 90s, robbing from Prince John, is more of a straight-up theft. They're 2 very different movies, and you wouldn't confuse them for each other under normal circumstances.
Where would you put something like Catch Me If You Can, where it follows the same formula, but it's the good guys?
Yeah. So, Catch Me If You Can features 2 different parts of it. One is a heist, and one is the con. As in terms of the actual tropes that you're fulfilling, because our protagonist in this movie is the criminal, and he is a con man at heart. But he's planning a heist to end up with the ability to print his own money, and that's what he ends up doing. But he's being tracked down by the good guys, and he gets caught. So it's a failed heist mixed with a con, and results in a general happy ending for everybody involved.
Well, but then in the second half, he's working for the police, tracking down other cons.
Only in the very end. That's his happy ending. He's literally then becoming a counterfeiter. He's in counterfeit investigation and can actually do that.
I swear that's like the whole second half of the movie. I could be wrong now. It's been a while.
It's literally the last 5 minutes.
Ow.
Still,
no, it is. It is Nasuth. It is like the last.
So I say that this topic doesn't have a lot of context because I mentioned this before we started. I want you to name 3 anime that are designed around or even contain a caper as defined.
Third.
Yes. So it needs to be a crime, premeditated, planned out with multiple participants. Ideally should have an antagonist that's trying to catch them, and should have layers. So if something was to go wrong, there's still things they can do to pull off the crime. So you thought Lupin the Third? Anything else?
Great Pretender? I've never watched it.
Lupin the Third.
Not the Great Pretender, unfortunately, that's a con.
Mm.
See?
Cat's Eye?
Okay. Correct. Well found. Okay. So, I have found only 9 examples, including those 2. And that also includes the manga of a show that's being adapted but hasn't been adapted yet. So, the obvious one is Lupin III, where virtually all of the stories involve 2 or more members of Lupin's gang in the process of executing a grandiose theft, with the planning, teamwork, luck, and sheer ballsy moves allow them to get the job done, while evading all attempts to capture them from Zenigata. Right? Lupin is like the ideal caper show to me.
Oh, what about Golden Kamuy?
What?
Doesn't contain a caper that I know of.
I mean, maybe it kind of does.
So
in their efforts to chase down this treasure map.
Okay, let Thaylien explain.
Yeah. So the fun with Lupin is it's very action based and often culminates in like a car chase with a dramatic exit or both. Distractions, feints. They're working around these people, and they layer up their plans. But the next one that Nasuth mentioned is a very old one called Cat's Eye, which first aired around 1983 to 1985. And it features the 3 Kasugi sisters who run a cafe together, but in secret. They're daughters of a famous artist who disappeared 15 years before the start of the show, and the daughters have become cat burglars in order to steal back their father's works of art from people who've usually illegally obtained them, so it's justified in some way. But these guys are like full-on caper mode because they even leave a calling card ahead of time, right, for the police to find to make their job seem more challenging. So they get in, they get the artwork, they evade capture, and make off with the work of art to their own thing, back to their day job of running the cafe, so that nobody suspects them. And one of the things that always help with that is insider info, because the detective that's chasing down these criminals is actually the middle sister's boyfriend. To have a bit of fun, there was even a crossover between Lupin and Cat's Eye in 2023, where they met up. There's also a French live action in 2024 and a reboot anime series in 2025, which is why this is second on the list. So, caper shows are, criminal theft shows are, there's an audience for them.
Isn't Lupin actually based off of a French book to begin with?
Yes.
I thought it was
the third, because he's a reincarnation of Lupin.
I've seen Lupin.
Yeah. So the third show is actually an obscure one called Magic Kaito, which stars an ordinary high school student called Kaito Kuroba. And Kaito has this nice little life in a comfortable family home with his loving mother and a sadly deceased father. His childhood friend, Aoko, has a father who is the chief inspector at a city's police force. So he's, constantly on edge around him. Everything seems fine until he finds out there's a resurgence of a mysterious phantom thief in the area who uses stage magic and street magic, performance singers, to stage grand thefts. And Kaito's fascinated, wants to find all about him. And that's when he's looking for ways to find out about him. He stumbles into the Bat Cave inside his house. I mean, the Phantom Thief Cave inside his house. And it turns out that his father was previously this Phantom Thief, and one of his father's old friends is pretending to be the Phantom Thief as well, in order to find out how his father died. There's some mysterious accidental explosion. So Kaito agrees to take on the role of thief, find the answer himself, and adopts the new persona of Kaito Kid. He's basically Tuxedo Mask, but all in white, and actually competent. But the context for this one is Magic Kaito was actually published before Heist closed by the same manga author. And is the Kaito Kid is actually one of the favorite antagonists of Case Closed. He's a popular thief in that series that has appeared over and over again. And so this manga was his origin story. The anime was his origin story. But that's kind of it for shows designed around it. I mentioned there's 9 that I could find, but the rest specifically only contain a caper or two. Okay, the first one on my list is Moriarty the Patriot, which is the one that puts Sherlock Holmes' main antagonist up as the protagonist of his own show. And this is a caper-like arc in his thing, where he plots through a whole arc to get a man murdered, basically. That's the crime. But he conducts it as a caper, where he's on a cruise ship and he plans out to make it look like this guy is committing multiple crimes in front of witnesses and then gets him executed for it so it looks like it's justified. Right? And the whole thing is played off with the same planning, forethought, layers of things, knowing that Sherlock is going to come and investigate it, so he wants to make sure his hands are clean. And it's played out as a caper in the show. But it's close. It's not precisely one in that. The next one on the list is Get Backers, which is a terrible show. And I actually have the box set of it, because I didn't know better when I first bought it. Where the main characters get things back for their clients, which are sometimes locked up in somebody else's house, and so they plan little capers where their usual methods don't work out. And these are usually quite simple ones, where they're just basically used to highlight that the side characters still exist and what their abilities are. And we get even more obscure as we go down. Armored Trooper Votons features a caper hijack of a Xenogelion shipment. One Piece's movie, Film Gold, had the second half of the movie focusing on the crew performing a caper to steal enough money to prevent Zorro's execution. And lastly, Sergeant Frog had a parody caper where they formed a phantom thief troupe to steal the painting of the birth of Venus, because it's Sergeant Frog. This actually turned out to be an embarrassing portrait of Momika when she was a child and naked because she was a baby.
Given that it's Sergeant Frog, I bet they were parodying Lupin.
Pretty much, yeah. It was actually, they formed a full troupe, a phantom troupe, so I'm guessing it was more...
Well, Lupin has companions.
Yeah, so, but what was it called? Phantom Troop, Peach Blossom something or other. So I think there was something there they were referencing, maybe from Case Closed. And it was a reference to something. It was definitely a parody. And this is why I couldn't make a whole topic about capers, as I literally only found these 3 shows and 6 more short example of what actually come classed as capers in anime. So unless the audience knows of more, it really surprised me, because I thought up the idea after, seeing the reboot of Cat's Eye, and there should have been far more shows like that. Because it's great to watch.
I asked the question, are they great to watch? Because a lot of heist/caper movies that certainly come out of the West, they are so formulaic, and you know that no matter what, the good guys are going to get their reward, right? There
Depends
was
on
one
who you classify as the good guys, I suppose.
Well, the guys you're rooting for, the protagonists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So one of the, oh god, I think this movie came out in the 90s. Sorry, 80s. It had Michael Caine and Steve Martin, and it's called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Oh, yeah. It is an absolutely fantastic movie. But it basically has a competition of heists.
Yeah.
I cannot, it's not the most
it's not a smart movie,
original,
but it's a great movie.
No, it's not a smart movie. It's a fantastic movie. It is genuinely really funny.
Actually, I guess you could say it's not smart, but it's clever. Because the way, the way they craft some of these jokes, like the one of them being in a wheelchair, and so like the other one starts stabbing things into his legs, and he just has to sit there and take it. Like that's clever. Yeah. That's really clever and funny, but it's not smart.
But at the same time, it's a really simple premise of having two thieves pit against each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I cannot think of another, and if genuinely, if you in the audience can think of another movie that actually has two opponents in a heist pit against each other, please say, right? But like, I cannot think of any, because it's got to exist, but like so many of the more modern heist movies are just Ocean's 11 again.
Yeah. Why don't we have any more Italian jobs?
Well, they did the reboot and it was okay.
Well, they did a reboot. Why don't we have any more Italian jobs?
The problem is, I don't watch.
It's incredibly entertaining to watch.
A lot of movies. Thomas Crown Affair. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can see that. It's not funny, but but that's 99. So again, same with Entrapment. That's 99.
Oh, Entrapment was awful. Oh God, that was awful. That was so bad. Oh God.
The visceral reaction there, you know?
Yeah, no, it was like, I can't believe you got Sean Connery involved in this.
Oh, what is that? What is that one? X versus Sever or something? Isn't that a heist movie? Or is that just an action movie?
No idea. I have no idea.
Oh no, it's a hacking movie.
Oh no,
that's a terrible hacking movie.
X versus Sever, the one with Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu.
I think so.
I don't think that's a heist movie.
Awful.
I think that's like a weird action movie, but that's besides the point. I think, okay, so my question to you both is how much... I have no idea. But do either of you particularly go out of your way to watch a heist anything? Like a heist movie, a heist series?
If I knew of any before, like the problem is I just don't have enough time to watch anything anymore. But if I did and I knew there was one out, I would watch. Yeah, 100%.
I went out to watch Ocean's 11 in cinemas because I was enthusiastic to see an actual heist movie at the time.
Right, but perchance was that one of your first ever heist movies you've ever seen?
No, it was not.
Okay,
same.
I mean, The Italian Job was the first one I saw. That's what got me hooked on them. And that's why, when I rewatched Cat's Eye, I thought, why is this not more popular? Well, I mean, Cat's Eye, the reboot, is not exactly the best anime. But honestly,
I think it's because the narrative, it's just too generic. It's just too obvious in the direction it's going to go. We need another guy. You know, it's always going to be.
There are some formulaic things to it, but it's never about the formula. It's how you tell it. You know, I think that the specific events, how difficult you make the heist, how good you make the characters built around it, you know, there's a lot that can be done with the formula.
There's... yes, and yet the innovation is just not there. Like, there's I don't know if Nasuth recalls this, there's one episode of Star Trek DS9 that is a heist episode, and it is the most one of the most painful episodes to watch.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to remind me. I'm almost sure I know what you're talking about, but you'll have to remind me.
I think it's because the one people are just really bad at him.
It's the one where the holographic casino has been taken over by some hologram.
Well, yeah, but that's because the holodeck episodes are usually cheesy and not thought through very well.
Oh God, that was such flaming hot garbage.
Mm-hmm. So it's that's the thing. I think people are just bad at writing complex moving plots. They like their action movies to be straightforward. When they're writing them, they get a lot more fun. I think it even comes back to dumb people writing smart people. How do you...
I enjoyed Snatch. Snatch was a good one.
Haven't watched it.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's another fun one.
No, watched it.
Oh,
sorry, I'm looking at a list.
Would The Gentleman count as a heist?
The Gentleman.
Yeah, it's another Guy Ritchie movie. Much more modern.
Oh, Sneakers! Oh, how could I forget about Sneakers? Oh my god! That is amazing movie. Oh, it's got like Dan Aykroyd and a bunch of other big name people in it. And like they're computer hackers and stuff back in the early 80s when that meant something. Like early 90s.
Fun fact, IMDb lists The Gentleman. The first tag on it is caper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it does count.
I feel like Guy Ritchie is a brilliant director for that sort of thing. Like,
step on the mouse.
I do think that the journey is the most important part, but either the plot, the journey of the narrative can either be too convoluted,
like Inception,
or too yeah. Or too basic and boring. Like, I mean,
yes.
I am all for dumb caper movies. Like Fast and the Furious, I know what I'm signing up for. I'm signing up for stupid action where...
That's an action heist movie that's just dumb.
It's just dumb. And I got no problem with that. So
Family.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched Reservoir Dogs, but I know it's supposed to be amazing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's what you would say.
If you've watched any of Tarantino's other stuff, it's just Reservoir Dogs is just garbage by comparison. It is one room and a game of Cluedo. That's it.
Oh, but I like Clue. That was a great movie.
I think I watched that many years. Anyway, that's besides the point. Talking about anime. I just think that maybe it's a simple case of if you do have a heist series, people would get bored of how long it takes to actually get to it. Maybe it has to be like a series of mini heists.
Good heist is told.
I feel like My Home Hero actually plays into a lot of the same tropes that you would get in a heist show. But without the actual heist.
I think.
Yeah.
I think Bashano or Bacano is very formulaic in the design of a heist or a caper. But, I've got to say, if you don't watch it like all in one sitting kind of thing, you just get too frustrated. I cannot...
This is where capers are interesting, because you've got to tell them the right way. The first part has to be getting people together to pitch an impossible idea, the caper's idea. Lupin bypasses that by having the guys already together and just trying new ones each time.
Yeah.
And you can do that because, I mean, Heist of the Week is
that's
a
basically
thing,
all the Ocean's movies.
Yes. And if you make it into a longer thing, like Lupin does, you can split the drama over multiple episodes and have them as smaller heists that lead up to a big one. But a heist does need to be told where to be told. Well, it's like a detective thing. You have to leave the clues where the audience can see them to see how they're going to get through a certain thing. And then you have to tell it and show it very similarly. So, like, when somebody says, like, what about the laser wires? Oh, we're going to completely bypass the laser wires with this.
You know
thing.
what?
And
one, I think this is why the A-Team movie didn't do as well as it should have. And two, I think no, there's nothing wrong with the A-Team. Shut up, you.
It's cheesy. It's great, but it's cheesy. Anyway,
shut up, you.
Two.
The other side of this is the number of times you're watching a heist movie and oh no, everything's going wrong right at the end. Oh, but we accounted for that by this other thing earlier.
That we didn't show you.
Yeah,
no,
that you
that's a
didn't
bad
show
host.
us.
That's,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a bad.
But I think that's
you need to show these things in the same way that a detective show has to give the audience all the clues and let them try to work it out with the detective.
I think
so
it
a heist
can
has
work.
to build all the parts.
Because they do that in Ocean's 11, but they get away with it by doing it like side by side. Like they're doing the planning while they're talking, while they're actually doing the heist. Like they're cutting back and forth between them. I think if you do it like that, it can work. But otherwise,
it does. Another one is like the don't have it go wrong at the end. Have it start going wrong in the middle. Like have somebody they predict is not going to be not going to be there for another hour suddenly show up early. Maybe they got a shortcut on the way home or something, or they didn't hit the traffic that was supposed to be there. Have the unexpected happen at multiple steps that they have to adapt to try and keep the real plan on the go.
There was a film that came out relatively recently, another Guy Ritchie movie that got completely zero publicity called In the Grey. And it kind of does what you're talking about.
Is that one of the Rian Johnson movies that's come out recently?
No.
Okay.
It's a Guy Ritchie movie that came out in May that had zero advertising for it. Right? And it made like $7 million. It was because no one knew this movie existed, and they put it straight onto streaming like a month later. Right? Because no one knew about it. Anyway.
I genuinely didn't see this one.
Oh, no, it was Knives Out and Glass Onion and Wake Up Dead Man. Like a trilogy of caper movies.
Well, no one's talking about those. But In the Grey did, like, everything goes wrong in the middle of the narrative. It's an okay movie, but, like, I mean, I like it because I like the cinematography, the performances, the acting things, but the plot was like wafer thin. And I think that is a very common problem with most heist movies, is just like
they're not there to be deep, they're there to be fun.
Yeah. And I think that's where Lupin gets away with it again, because it's all about the fun, the spectacle, the car chase, the wacky shenanigans that go on around it.
You know what movie has a great heist, although it's only for a little bit of it? Star Trek 3.
What?
When they steal the Enterprise, so they can go find Spock.
A bit of a heist, yeah.
It's great. It's short, unfortunately, but it's great. But what brought that up was I was thinking we need a Gundam heist. We need a Gundam show that involves a big heist.
Fucking don't.
Yeah. They gotta steal the Gundam.
Pat Labor.
They gotta steal the Gundam.
Pat Labor, sure. No.
No, they gotta steal the Gundam, man. They gotta steal the Gundam.
Everyone fucking gotta steal a Gundam. Everyone fucking steals Gundams. Everyone steals a Gundam.
No.
It's so common.
Wrong way around, Nasuth. What? Wrong way around, Nasuth. You've got to use the Gundam to steal something else.
Yeah, maybe.
That's part of the plot. You need a Gundam pilot for part of the...
That one was too obvious,
part
though.
of the caper. Well, yes,
Should we
it's
move on
Gundam.
to the...
It's really obvious. And how do you disguise a Gundam? But yeah, okay. So to sum up, basically, there is so little of this media, and I feel that it's because people don't know how to write it. People don't know how to make it entertaining, because it can be so very entertaining, because Lupin has proved it time and time again that it can be a wacky, entertaining format.
Well,
it's the same thing with Death Note or Battle Game After 5 Seconds. You need somebody smart to write something smart. Otherwise, you end up with those.
I think a large part of the reason for the success is that it's not just a heist series, or there's a lot of comedic elements to Lupin, and I think that is being heavily leveraged to keep it entertaining, genuinely.
Yeah.
So
that's why Lupin gets away with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good if it's done right.
Alrighty. So, Nasuth.
My
take
turn.
Say with yours.
All
yes.
Right. Mine's kind of a strange one. I'm not even really sure how to intro it exactly. Okay, actually I do know how to intro it. I think it's well known at this point that I love two things. I love old media, and I love so bad it's good media. And there's a I think this can actually be traced back to when I was a teenager, and there was a little show airing called Mystery Science Theater 3000. It aired on Comedy Central. I think it was back when it was still the Comedy Channel, but I only saw it in syndication when they were showing it as the Mystery Science Theater Hour. And essentially they would take one episode, which is like 2 hours long, and split it up into 2 1-hour episodes. So the basic idea of this is there's a very thin veneer of a plot. There's some mad scientists, and they want to find a way to like break humanity the easiest way possible. And so they figure, we'll find the worst movie ever, and we'll show it to everyone, and that will break humanity. And so the way they're going to do this is they send a guy up into space where he's isolated on a satellite, and they send him bad movies. And the only way he can survive is because he's taken some of the equipment that's from the ship and has turned it into robot friends that he can make fun of the movie with. So all the movies playing, they're sitting in the audience, like the little theater seating, just throwing out jokes, just riffing on the movie. And that ran for like 11 years, and then it got canceled, and then more recently they've come back with a Netflix series, but also some of the other creators made something called Riff Tracks, where they were initially just taking like blockbuster movies, and you would get an MP3 from them that had the actual riff, the actual jokes, and you would just play that alongside the movie. But they started going back to their roots and doing a lot of older, low budget, not royalty free, but like easy to license, easy to license stuff. And both of them have their merits. I think it's really fun when they take bad blockbuster movies and make fun of them. But it's also kind of interesting seeing old, obscure B movies and C movies that you might not have ever known about, and have them making jokes about those too. I mean, they've made jokes about Gamera. They've made jokes about a terrible movie called Laser Blast. They made fun of a movie that had one of the Sheen brothers in it as like a Grim Reaper. It's just lots of crazy stuff. And I would love to do this with anime. I think it's in a way it's similar to an abridged series where they still make jokes about it. Like it's obviously referenced to the show, but that's cut down and it has its own script. This would literally be watching a show and making fun of it. There's a couple problems with this, though.
Peanut gallery.
Yeah, essentially being the peanut gallery. I think a lot of people do this on their own naturally. They get friends together, they watch a movie, they all kind of make fun of it or talk during it, because it's not like a really super intense movie. It's just it might be a silly action movie like we were talking about earlier with the heist stuff. Or a Fast and the Furious movie. Imagine if you were sitting watching a Fast and the Furious movie with some friends and you were all just making fun of it, right? Because they're not serious movies. But these are supposed to be so bad it's good movies, like The Room, or in the case of like some of the ones I've written down, we've got Bao. Remember I talked about Bao, which was one of Araki's pre-JoJo projects? We talked about this several months ago, I think, at this point, where we were bringing in obscure anime. You could also do Ninja Scroll. You could do Eyes of Mars. You could do Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins, even though that's technically not anime. It is. It totally is. You could even take serious stuff if you really wanted to have a challenge, like Made in Abyss. Imagine trying to make fun of that. But it might help you survive the
God, I could get so dark with that.
It might help you survive some of the darker moments. But see, I don't think... There's also ones I don't think you could do it with. I don't think you could do it with Eminence and Shadow. And I don't think you could do it with Panty and Stocking. Panty and Stocking especially, because it's already so zany and off the wall and comedic. What are you going to add to that? Eminence and Shadow, I kind of feel the same way about that one, but I think you get away with it a little easier. One you could definitely get away with it in is Solo Leveling. But you run into like the challenges. I was starting to talk about the challenges earlier. you'd have to license this stuff. Imagine having to license, I don't know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. No.
Well, I see where you're coming from. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that licensing point, or?
No, essentially, imagine how hard it would be to license, and then you would have to watch the project over and over again to write jokes for it.
So, I think this is doable. I think I could certainly come up with commentary for The Eminence in Shadow, but at the same time, I think it's all down to the presentation, right? I think it's very much down to how you capture it, because like
it needs to feel natural.
With mystery science theater, is the movie unedited? Is it just a full raw movie length, or is it compressed down?
A lot of times it is edited down for time or content.
Yeah.
Every now and then they'll have to cut out some nudity or something.
Yeah.
I want to say that the unedited versions are on the DVDs that they released, but I might be wrong about that. Because they didn't fit into a TV time slot. So
I think, again, like if you were to take some anime that you wanted to convert into this, you know, let's say like a Naruto movie or a Dragon Ball Z movie or something like that, you wouldn't have it a one-to-one representation. You would only take the bits that were particularly funny. And I think you're right. The person would have to have experienced that thing enough that they know what's coming, and when they riff on it, everyone is able to keep track of what's being said. Because one of my biggest problems with you two is that when you talk over each other, this isn't a challenge, I cannot make out what either of you are saying because the noise is coming through one pair of headphones, right? When you two are talking and you can both hear what the other one is saying and continue your talking point, but I can't hear either of you.
Yeah, so the way they do it is they write it all out ahead of time. They yes, thank you, Thaylien. I knew that was coming. This is all written out ahead of time, so they can coordinate their jokes. They can even share jokes like behind the scenes. So like if I come up with a really good joke, but I've already said one like a few minutes ago, that I could give it to you to say instead. That's what I mean by you have to watch it over and over again. Is you have to be able to write out the jokes that you're going to do.
Write the script.
And then you have to make them sound natural when you're reading them, like you just came up with it now.
Well, yeah. I think if you were to turn them into...
I want to pop a thing in, that actually this is still a thing, but it can't be done the way you'd want to do it on YouTube or on other services.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure if you guys even still watch the Nostalgia Critic.
No.
Not really, no.
Okay. Because he's still about, and he does occasionally put out his first-time watch-throughs, right? Which are literally where he does record himself and his brother watching the movie for the first time in preparation for the review.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's actually their first time watching. It's literally the case of them sitting on the sofa and watching it and doing commentary to each other about jokes they want to make, you know, or about things they remember that they would make into a skit or something, you know?
There's actually a couple of other channels I watch called So Bad It's Good and Good Bad or Bad Bad.
Yeah. So, but the movie isn't playing on the video. It's not like picture in picture. They literally expect you to have the movie or whatever it is pulled up on another window and be watching it with them in order to experience that.
That would have to be the way you do it for a bigger name thing. But I bet something like Eyes of Mars that's already on YouTube for free, you could probably get away with doing.
Well, no, because it's dependent on how transformative it is, right? So in terms of copyright infringement in Japan, there's no getting around it. Absolutely none, right? Because their copyright laws are a hell of a lot more strict than the rest of the world. But if this is the US we're talking about, depending on the transformation, like, you know, basically you can't watch the original without... I mean, this could also be considered partly a review or parody, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't be worried too much about that in terms of content creation. But with... I think you would need to watch it at least twice, probably 3 times, including the recording. Then in terms of making the jokes feel organic, simplest, easiest way is to, you have bullet points for the joke. So it reminds you, like, so there's one movie that I'm really well known for hating, is Sunshine. I hate that movie with a passion. It is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever fucking seen in my goddamn life. Like, call that sci-fi, call that, like, side disappointment. But I think whatever you pick, it needs to be something either so amazing or so awful that it's kind of stuck in your mind. Anything that's bland and generic just won't work. But anything that is just so cataclysmically awful, I think that is perfectly ripe opportunity to riff on.
Sure. Like, I've watched MST3K so many times, and there are ones that really, really stick out in my head. Like, again, Laser Blast or The Beast of Yucca Flats, or those, you know, any of the big ones. But there are also a ton of smaller ones that I don't remember until they start playing, and it's like, because they're like awful, black and white, no budget, anything. You know, it's just kind of, yeah, they make great jokes on it, but it's just not the same as watching something that's kind of interesting in a bad way.
I mean, the one that I can certainly do is the Guyver Out of Control movie, because like, so one of the things in the Guyver Out of Control movie is effectively this guy that is an absolute massive lard ass, when he turns into a Zonoid, gets smaller. The whole point is that Zonoids turn into like 7-8 foot tall monsters, right? 7 to 8 foot tall monsters. But like, this guy was so massive, he was so fat, he was basically sat on a couch like by himself. Star. Yeah, he got smaller when he turned into Vamor, and I'm like, this is the wrong way around.
I don't think that's the thing I'd be making fun of in Guyver Out of Control, but it's certainly one of them.
No, there are plenty. I mean, like, you know, he shows random... I'm just going to hide out in this barn. Where the fuck did you find a barn?
Yeah.
You know, it's... But that's the sort of thing. Like, there are so many bad points to it that it is riffable. Right? I'd argue potentially Snowball Earth
maybe
has the potential for being riffable. Like, yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other modern stuff. Projects. It's really difficult. I know a lot of real yes. Again, I've got a lot of really good old ones. Like, I could even do Vampire Hunter D, I think. Although that one's weird because it's kind of bland when you get down to it. When you actually watch it, there's a lot of long stretches where nothing's happening.
So and that's the sort of stuff you would just cut out.
I think you'd have to, yeah.
I mean, in order to be transformative enough, you would have to cut out that bit.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's not... So that's... Like, again, they would cut out stuff for time in MST3K, but they would never cut it so much that it would fit into transformative.
Right, but if you... Right, but for this, it would, because...
It would have to, yeah.
everyone's got the super TikTok brain these days, right? And do you really want to sit through 8 hours of some shitty anime in order to make no one's going to want to sit through that to begin with. I mean, there's a content creator, which I'm sure all three of us know, Mauler, who did this brilliant take on The Predator. I love that. It's longer than the actual movie itself, right? He runs through all the stupid plot decisions that's made through the movie, and that movie should not exist. But he does, like, oh god, he did was it The Rise of Skywalker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the third of the sequel trilogy. And it is 6 hours long. It is longer than the fucking movie by miles. And it's just like, why? And he just loses it. He loses his gourd over how bad the movie is. And he just, but it's all well structured, riffing. So,
and losing his gourd.
But yeah. I think this is totally doable.
I think it's easier with older stuff, and again, either short OVAs or movies than a full TV show.
They just need to hate on it.
But I don't want to hate on it. I want to lovingly riff on it.
Well, okay, so do they...
That's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. I do want to hate it a little bit.
But do they not... I've not seen Mystery Science Theater. Do they not hate riff on the production?
Some of it, yeah. A lot of times it's just jokes about what's going on, but every now and then, it'll be like this. Just like a movie is so bad that they just can't stand it, and they'll start complaining about everything in it, not just the funny lines or the weird choices, weird story choices, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe someday, after we do Skeletor Debridged.
No one's going to know what that is.
Nope. Stay tuned. Coming in 2035.
Until we meet again.
I can't think. Do I have any other points that I really want to talk about? No, I think that's basically it. Other than that's why Xeno. This is kind of a joking thing. It's why Xeno hates watching anime with me, because even when we're watching stuff like Pat Labor, or Ghost in the Shell, even the Ghost in the Shell, I did this a couple of times. I would throw out weird jokes based on what was happening.
I do that when I'm with people. That's why I prefer to watch anime alone, because I don't want myself ruining it for other people.
I mean, that's you're not too bad when it comes to watching stuff.
I try not to be with new stuff, especially, but like Pat Labor,
Nasuth
it's silly and it's old, so I don't mind it too much.
Nasuth isn't too bad. Can you imagine the amount of puns I generate by watching shows with somebody else?
You don't. You just watch and enjoy the show.
Thaylien runs in the thousands of ppm puns per minute.
When I'm with other people, that's why I watch them alone, so that I don't do that to people. Because I do that to people if I watch it with other people. Hell, I watched when I went over to South Africa to visit my great aunt who turned 100. While I was there, the movie that was on the TV for them to watch was Jaws, as in the classic.
Mm-hmm.
I was banned from the room.
I've not seen the original
4
rules.
minutes. You've not seen the original Jaws?
No.
Do it's Jawsome.
God damn it, Thaylien.
We ban him from the podcast.
I just think it's a movie you could sink your teeth into. Okay.
We're gonna need a bigger commentary section.
Yeah. So a lot of tourists need to leave it alone.
Yeah, well, let us if you're watching this, let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a Kanpai Cast riff of something, and maybe we'll make that happen.
Let me know if you've seen it
5 years from now.
Let me know if you've seen any more capers. That's a good one. If you know any more anime capers, let me know. See if I can watch them.
Right. Should we move on?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, we have the supporter questions. So, Ricuse7, Coffee, Eggs, and Bacon says, congratulations on anthropomorphizing humanity and making him happy by liking this video and subscribing to Kanpai Cast. We really appreciate it. Ricuse7, Coffee, Eggs, and Bacon asks, while I distract you for a brief second, now that you've been slightly distracted, Nasuth censored
Irreverent. And banned in 48 countries anime when?
Okay.
So, far from riffing at Nasuth, they want you to make your own completely banned anime.
Robotech.
Robotech's not banned.
No, but that's
you could
the
make
idea.
it that way.
Sure. We'll edit Macross into Booby Tech. There you go.
God. Right, and then moving on to the best part of the show, the memes.
Woo! Go look at our website. We catalog all these memes because they tend to get taken down from the sites that they're originally on. Can't take credit for it. Can't take credit for making any of them this week, I don't think. Only finding them. Starting with... Hello, Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Hello, Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Admit you love the spell that creates beautiful flower fields or draw 25 cards.
Yeah.
Next 3 are videos, although I think one of them might not have audio.
Yeah.
I would settle this the old-fashioned way.
Oh, Momo.
Just a yeah.
Sorry, mono. This is mono.
Receding into the distance.
There's a joke here somewhere about pussy getting railed.
Oh my god.
Well played.
I brought home a super adorable cat yesterday, and she even loves smoking. Okay.
Yep.
What are you? An idiot sandwich?
Oh my god.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
All right,
Use the
Thaylien.
wall.
Dog, our fries are going to be Marlboro flavored.
Oh my god.
Can you believe they used to let cooks smoke in the kitchen?
No.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I do not want.
You can't marry a man you just met. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Video?
Yep. It's Chairman Mau Mau.
I would follow Chairman Mau Mau anywhere.
This goes on for 30 seconds. You can skip it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't be marrying any more wives.
You stole this from me
Don't.
last week.
Hmm?
I used this last week.
Well, now it's this week.
Can't remember it.
The past is the past, you know.
Oh, there's so many cute anime girls this season. Wait, Rentaro, no.
Oh my god.
And the last one's
And
a
a very
video.
short video. A short video that I could not stop giggling at.
One's a piece of cake.
Oh my god, it is. It actually
is.
is.
Oh, that's
is.
brilliant. That is absolute brilliant.
Oh. Right.
It's the first time he's recognised one without the Pokedex.
Nasuth, my second one should be a video.
Oh dear. Well, We'll see when we get there.
There. What spell did you draw? Doom? Doom?
Doom?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Doom?
You can play Doom on a magic circle now.
Pause it for a second, Nasuth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, if you just come out of it. No, just come out of it. Go back to the memes, come out of it. You can edit this out in post. Yeah?
I do it in post.
Hit the X. Hit the X. No, just hit the X.
Oh, like that?
Right. Come out of it, yeah. Click on the one that's grey. No, just click on the one that's fucking grey. Right, change PNG to MP. No! Fucking goddamn it! Change PNG to MP4. There we go, save. I thought it was going to be so much easier. It's just like, this was more work.
Up your face. Hit the highlight button for me, would you?
There you go.
Ta.
Bring out the preview window again.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
Never. Stop giving me shit, okay? God. Worse than my cat.
Give you all the shit. Right. Now number 2.
Sailor Moon dog walks Goku.
Oh no.
How dare you, Savannah?
I'm telling you.
You take that back. You walk that back.
I will not. I will dog walk that forward because Sailor Moon is like every other woman in this world. She will stomp on any man, including Goku, or anybody else that messes with her. Sailor Moon is it. AF.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder if they own this store. I feel like they own this store and they're
They really, really don't. They go to a whole bunch of them, but this is the one that they spend, that they do the most anime-related riffing on.
right.
Oh, man.
Number 3?
Oh.
Somebody's
really kicked up that,
hidden fetish showing there.
Yeah, they really, really kicked up the person in that image.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the idea. I was like, no, you can't go anywhere. My cat trying to get my attention. My cat when I meow back at her.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 videos.
He's always edging. He never buys me flowers. Really? He's always watching his stupid show and he doesn't pay attention to me.
And what show is this?
Mom.
Confirmed. JoJo makes you gay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what's wrong? I got bit by a poisonous snake. Somebody help
I just thought she was going to turn it into food or something, but nope. I should have known better.
Anyway. Right. That's it for this week's episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening.
We actually have a next week.
Well, you scrolled down past that!
Oh my god.
Yeah, he
Next
did.
week-
You scroll back up again quickly.
Next week, we'll be covering the 6th episode review of Summer 2026. And now, it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai.
Kanpai.
And Kanpai.